Hallo iedereen, ik ben Michiel Vanwijk. We staan hier vandaag aan het gouvernement, in de Gouvernementstraat in Gent. Want we gaan hier vandaag de World Soundtrack Awards persconferentie bezoeken. Bekende sprekers, waaronder Marvin Hamlisch. Dan hebben we ook nog Alexandre Desplat, Marc Streitenfeld en de senior editor van Variety.
Tonight must be above all a celebration. A celebration of the importance of film music and its composers. With this year the music of Marc Streitenfeld, Alexandre Desplat and Marvin Hamlisch.
First of all, I'm thrilled to be here because I am as much as I love film, don't get me wrong, I'm big into chocolate. And I think coming to the chocolate capital of the world is one of the great moments of my life. It's wonderful to have a festival that really cares about music, because a lot of people think that music is some sort of a, I don't know, a kind of an add-in at the very last second on a film. And so it's nice to have people understand that music can be a very integral and should be a very important part of the film. So it's great to be here.
The craft that is requested for film composers pushes us to deadline that we have to, to go to, and we only have 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, sometimes even less than 3 weeks. That's the way it is. We use all our knowledge and our craft and our energy day and night to make it work. It's just another state of mind, and as you said, the different state of mind is also as when somebody writes for concert. It's another vision, a musical vision. We are recording artists, we record in studios, we're locked in studios, and that's the other thing that we didn't mention, but why we have to be together, because we're never together with anyone, we're always by ourselves, locked in studios. My life is early in the morning in my studio until very late at night, and when I finish these long days of work, I just take a train or a plane, go to a studio where I'm locked in again to record the musicians, and then I take a train or a plane back to go back to the studio where I'm locked in again.
Sounds claustrophobic.
It is. So of course, being here, sitting and having the opportunity to make jokes with the fellow composers, it's a blessing.
I really try not to go, that cue, and because you lose the sight of the fact that when you're writing for film, and I will just take a moment to say this very strongly. When you're writing for a film, you become like, in my opinion, a great couturier, someone who is going to make a gown for a woman. Now, the thing is, when you make a gown for somebody, as opposed to buying it in the streets, you make it for someone, you make it exactly for that person. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the only person you can work with, and I get very upset with thinking that there are these composers that can only do this, but they can't do this. They can only do this kind of picture, but they can't do that. No. About what we do.
Have you been pigeonholed as, say, Barbra Streisand's composer, songwriter?
I've been pigeonholed as Angelina Jolie's lover, and that I want to say right now, though it's true, I'm trying to keep it quiet because she too loves chocolate.
I mean, I think there's quite a few composers who have definitely relationships with directors and do repeat work, but I don't know if it's that common nowadays that kind of exclusively have work with one director. Just kind of happened, but it's also it's really rewarding, especially if the director does such a amazing diversity of films. Which keeps it really interesting and challenging whenever you got it.
How do you begin with an empty piece of paper? And I said, no, it's not really blank. Yes, it looks to you like it's blank, but it's actually talking to you about the film. It's saying to you now, you know the scene that you're supposed to write? So you're already beginning with an idea.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to be involved early on, and I have been, the projects I've been doing. I had the luxury to, go to the set and talk to the director then, but that doesn't always, happen. And, there's many films like Alexandre, his schedule doesn't just allow you to do that, and, you want to do other things. So it's tricky, and there's always deadlines, no matter when you come on, there's always something that needs to get done in time. So you still have that kind of time pressure, but it helps me, to think of projects early on, because you never know when that process is really kicking in. It takes, you need to work on something to create it, I think, you know. And the second I start thinking about it, it's cooking really, you know.
They used to say, for many, many years, that the best scores of films were the ones that you didn't even hear. That's what they used to say, until of course they found out that CDs and albums make a lot of money, and all of a sudden it's important to sell those things, and all of a sudden it became another tool to sell a film. The spotlight's supposed to be on the fusion of all of these things that come together that supposedly give you a problem. I mean, it's like eating a great meal and saying, you know, the salt content of that meal. Well, I mean, no. You're supposed to be talking about the steak and the potatoes, or here, the pancakes, which are unbelievable, by the way. When you record, it's a great feeling. You have this thing in your head, and you know the headset's on, and you've got a big orchestra, and you're recording, and you can record with or without dialogue. It's up to you, however you want. But on the playback of this recording, to make sure that everything's right, usually they don't play the dialogue. Usually you just hear it, and you think, this is the greatest moment of my life, Then they put the thing together, and all of a sudden the music that you heard in fantastic stereo, incredible, 19 speakers, my God, all of a sudden you hear some people talking above your music. And you say, how dare they do this? The last time I heard this, the music was great, and I didn't hear one piece of dialogue. And now all of a sudden, that dialogue's important, and we're down to here, and we're going, hello? That's the job.
A relationship with the director, a relationship with the producer, or a bunch of producers, or a studio, people that you like, who like you. Because it's not just, you know, it's not just the art. There's a human relationship all along. Could it be with the director, the producer? What's the cast? What's the release date? And the mixing date? What's the money? Of course. What would you be able to do?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean how much will I earn, but even if I have a little fee, can I do something that I'm enjoying, or to have? Or is it just
like a big orchestra versus a small orchestra?
No, it could be, but even then, it could be a small orchestra, but at least with comfort.
Yeah.
That you're not, because recording a small orchestra is not easier than recording a big orchestra. Recording a string quintet is more difficult than recording a string orchestra. It's harder because you have to spend more hours doing precision and intonation and cohesion. It's more difficult.
You know, and you can't do that. Is that public domain, by the way, or do we make money? The guy who wrote that right now, I swear to God, is sitting in some fantastic place in south of France going We're killing ourselves here for $14,000. Another Cuban cigar, please. Wow. Tell you, genius. I'm going where there's no music.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. I'm going to clear field.
I love the music for I want a wheel.
It's a beautiful film.
Hi, how are you? Okay.
I love your music.
Thank you very much.
It's one of the most different genres.
Yeah, we try. Well, you know, there have been so many great ones. We had to go off the main track. But this was done in London, actually.
Yes.
This is short.
There was some BG related sound.
Yeah.
By the way, you had a track on this young Eastern Lights.
Oh yeah.
Well, did you choose that name?
I think I did.
Well, because I like the name, so we called our production company Eastern Lights Production. So
Good for you.
Oh ja, dus allemaal handtekeningen. We zijn allebei zeer onder de indruk. En die ga ik nog genieten. En dan ga ik ook naar huis. Het is van een geslaagde dag. And the cigarette you bummed from me is almost burning